Hey y'all, what's going on? It's me, Kevin, with Fit Man Cook. Well, I've gotten a lot of offline questions about this topic, so I decided, you know what, let's make a quick video on it. Now, if you're like me, you got some really intense sweet cravings. I mean, what is it about sugar that's just got us all so hooked? It doesn't provide any nutritional value, it's pretty high in calories, it leads to weight gain and many other health issues, but you know what? We still can't say no to it. Well, I'll speak for myself, and I can't cut out sweets completely from my diet. But I have cut out much of the refined sugar in my diet. And in doing so, I've noticed an overall difference in my health and the leanness of my physique. So here are 10 quick tips to help you to reduce sugar in your diet. Tip number 1 is to get educated. You can't cut out what you don't know. And sugar is pretty sneaky. It's known by different names in our foods. Fructose, corn syrup, galactose, glucose, hydrogenated starch, invert sugar maltose, sucrose, and really the list goes on. You know, sugar is like that one friend that you know that goes by different names in different cities because they try to avoid, because they don't want people finding, I mean, not that I know anybody like that, but I'm just saying, like if I did, that's what sugar would be. In essence, sugar is pretty sneaky. It's got different names, and so it can easily find its way into your diet. So be sure that you read the labels to know exactly what you're putting into your body. Tip number 2 is to go fresh or go home. Or you could even go frozen and then go home. Just stop for a minute and think about the many processed and packaged foods that you have right now in your pantry or your fridge. Dressings, soups, spaghetti sauce, breads, breakfast cereals, protein bars, and even fat-free products like yogurt. Sugar is often added to all these products to enhance the flavor, and even though it could be labeled organic and heart healthy and fat-free, it still can be packed with a whole bunch of sugar. So if you cut out the amount of packaged and processed foods in your diet, you can cut out a significant amount of sugar as well. Tip number 3 is to remove temptation from your house. When I made the decision to eat less sugar, there were a couple items that gave me some grief. And one of those items in particular was peanut butter. And I ain't talking about the natural type of peanut butter either, the good and healthy kind. I'm talking about that flavored peanut butter, you know, that comes with like the different things in it, like cinnamon, or could be like some jelly. They could put in some hazelnut, whatnot. You know what I'm talking about, right? It tastes good. Anyway, those were things that I had to stop buying in the interim so that way I could kick this sugar habit. So whatever those trigger foods are for you, consider removing them from your environment so you can really focus on your goals. And I'm not sure what that is for you. There could be the little packaged cakes. It could be that loaded Starbucks beverage that you have every morning. It could also be those power protein bars and protein shakes that are loaded with sugar as well. So whatever it is that's triggering those sweet cravings for you, consider removing those from your environment so you can really focus on your goals. Tip number 4 is to watch your fluid intake, especially soda. So we've been told that we should drink about 9 to 11 cups of fluid per day in order to stay hydrated. And in a really generous effort to help us all stay hydrated, companies have put together these amazing bottled drinks that say things like electrolytes, packed with vitamins, packed with minerals, and everything else. Sounds harmless, right? Well, if you take a quick glance at the ingredient list of some of those drinks, well, you can see they are loaded with a whole bunch of sugar. So the takeaway here is if you have to buy some of those bottled drinks, be sure that you are getting unsweetened. Oh, and I mean, soda just kind of goes without saying, y'all. It's like liquid sugar. And if you're like me and really love the carbonation, then what I like to do is get some club soda and then add things like fresh fruit like berries or mandarin or pineapple or kiwi to give it some flavor. And if you're feeling fancy like me, sometimes you could put in some chopped mint. Chopped mint in here, in this one. Look at that. Yeah, it's fancy. It's fancy. Tip number 5 is to avoid skipping meals as much as possible. Now, we've all been there before. You get caught up in the day and you've skipped breakfast and lunch, and by the time the afternoon rolls around, you are starving. And this starvation basically causes a drop in your blood sugar levels, and it activates the most intense sweet cravings ever.
Did you have a nap today? I did! But you need one.
Takeaway here is to always have some healthy snacks around you, like nuts and seeds, some air pop popcorn, some naturally dried fruit, and even some jerky. So if you can't get a solid meal in, at least you can curb those cravings for the moment, making it less likely that you will go and reach for that candy bar. Tip number 6 is to spice it up with cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is one of my go-to spices and also supplements that I must have in my diet. It not only adds a good amount of flavor to sweet and savory dishes, but it also helps to regulate your blood sugar levels, which in turn help you to control your appetite. So you can sprinkle cinnamon on your foods or incorporate into your shakes and smoothies, or you can go to your local health food store and get you some cinnamon extract. Tip number 7 is to eat more healthy fats. Now this one really worked for me. Consuming a lot of simple carbs can cause a sudden rise in blood sugar and cause you to feel hungry all over again. Incorporating healthy fats from sources like coconut oil, nuts and seeds, and my favorite, the avocado, can help to slow the release of blood sugar and make you feel fuller longer so you won't desire as many sweets. Remember, these foods are high energy, so they're perfect whenever you're facing a really long day or a tough and brutal workout. So yeah, eat more healthy fats. Tip number 8 is to use more natural ways to satisfy your sweet tooth. Items like fruit, organic raw honey, and even some syrups, naturally dried fruit, they all contain natural sugars. Plus, you'll get a boost of vitamins and minerals. But wait, this can be a slippery slope. Too much of anything can be unhealthy, so it is clearly about moderation and portion sizes. So yes, you should find natural ways to satisfy your sweet tooth, but also remember to watch your portions. Tip number 9 is to plan it out and go high quality. If you're gonna eat sweets from time to time, then at least make it worth your while. Don't eat all that artificial sugar found in those processed and packaged foods. You keep it real. Cause we keep it real in the Fit Men Cook Kitchen. Sun up, sun down, all day, every recipe. Woo, woo. Okay, so the idea here is to plan your special day to enjoy your sweet treat. It can be a holiday, it can be a birthday, it can be a party, just whatever it is, just plan it out so that way it becomes a part of your overall diet plan. Again, just avoid the artificial stuff if possible, and remember, this is a treat, not a binge day. And finally, tip number 10, and one of the most important ones, is to don't go cold turkey, but do challenge yourself. Begin to make incremental changes to your diet that involve you using less sugar. Drink your coffee black or your tea without sugar. Use dates or date sugar in baking instead of using refined sugar. Cut out the after dinner dessert and replace it with things like fresh fruit. Using dried fruit in your oatmeal or your quinoa in the morning. And the list goes on. But whatever you do, start small and build your confidence so that way whatever you start, you can maintain. And if you must use sweeteners, then I encourage you to first do your research. The sweetener that I tend to use from time to time is stevia in the raw. It is 0 calorie and it does not raise my blood sugar levels. But again, I use it sparingly, but I do use it nonetheless. Now it's your turn. I want you to share your best tip below in the comment section on how you reduce sugar in your diet so we can all learn and grow together. And besides, I'll speak personally, I would love some more tips on how to do this. So I look forward to reading your comments. As always, I want to thank y'all for watching. Hey, keep it healthy, but never boring.